Most people think that gaming for a career, you you could be a loser or some other name, but Major League Gaming is actually a contention for actual full time job. Just most people don't think of it being as a career because it's usually considered a pastime and not a career. But there's this group slash foundation called MLG, and what they do is basically they throw tournaments and stuff for games like Call of Duty and Counter Strike and all these other games, and teams actually go and compete. And a lot of these teams are teenage boys ranging from the age of 15 to actually like 25, 26, and actually has contention to be a full time job because being you have to sit down all day, play video games, you have to eat, you still have to exercise so you don't get fat because you're just sitting all day. And personally, I think that Major League Gaming could actually be a career in a lifestyle. So, Matthew Hogg, this man behind me on the screen, he's actually a pro gamer, and he's one of the most successful pro gamers out there. And his salary a year, last year he made his first million, and he made $1 million. He has a YouTube channel. He does tournaments. He wins tournaments, which really helps. And he's sponsored by Red Bull and a bunch of other sponsors that sponsor him and give him money to do what he does. And what he does is stream and stuff, sits inside his house, and plays video games all day. So he has to be really organized to do this because you can't just. It's like building a company. You can't just build a company off of nothing one day. You can't just decide you're going to build a company. So what he did was he got his name out there, and now he's actually part of a very successful gaming organization. And what he does all day is he just sits at home, plays video games, streams, and he makes money off his streams, makes money off YouTube, makes money off tournaments. And on weekends he goes to tournaments. And these tournaments aren't every weekend. They're ranging. There's probably 2 a month. And like this last weekend was Call of Duty Championships, which is the $1 million tournament, biggest tournament of the year. And him and his team went to that one and won a lot of money there. So the events I was talking about that range from, so you could have 3 a month, 2 a month. Well, the $1 million tournament was this past weekend, and there's other big tournaments, but the $1 million tournament's the biggest one. And it's not the winning team gets $1 million; it's a $1 million prize pool, which means the winning team would get $400,000 and so on down the line. So other big tournaments are the MLG events that you win, and what you do is you get these things called pro points, and these pro points basically seed you in brackets. So the team with the most pro points would get the highest seed, and the team with the least pro points in the tournament would have the lowest seed, and so on. So online matches play a big part because online matches is what seeds you when you don't go to events and you're not actually sitting by the person you're competing against. You're competing online. So what the organization does is they have a pro league, and this is decided by an event every year. And according to MLG TV, there's 8 pro teams in each league. So there's 1 pro league right now, but they're hoping to expand that. And there's a lot of popular gamers like Nadeshot being the most popular gamer right now. And a lot of kids are getting into this because they found a pastime and they found something they like to do that they don't have to go out and actually get a job. So I think it's growing because kids just see people like Nadeshot and think that they could be that guy. Well, it's not really that easy, but it gives kids a dream, and I guess when you have a dream, you can follow that dream, and it gives you something to do. So the reason I think it will stay and the reason I think it will be big in the coming years is because technology is only growing, and teenagers will be the most impacted by technology because they're growing up inside the technological span of things. So, like, you get old people, they don't know how to use a phone correctly sometimes, like a cell phone. And that's just because teenagers know how to use cell phones more than old people because we're in kind of that learning curve span of age, and we can learn stuff like that easier rather than being 60 years old and learning how to use your first cell phone. And like I said, the average age of a gamer is 35 years old, and that's only growing because people are getting more into games. And I honestly think that esports could maybe be the next big thing, but it will never beat out football, soccer, or any sports like that.